What's up, everybody, to another Face of the Franchise episode.
Wake up.
Hope you guys been enjoying the episodes that we
What are
posted.
these dishes doing at my feet?
Because it's time for you to start cleaning up your crap. These dishes have been lying in the sink for almost 2 weeks. I mean, look at this place. It's a disaster. You're leaving everything laying around. It's ridiculous.
Who crawled up your butt and died?
You.
Gross.
Hey, get up, man. I want to watch some TV. You've been laying out here all morning.
What's got you two all riled up?
Just turn up the volume, would you?
The Heartbreak Kids have gone from sensational dynamic duo to a sudden two-headed monster, and boy, this is an ugly one.
Hey, I thought I played pretty good out there.
This team still has not found its identity, and I know that Coach O'Brien claims that his two-quarterback system is matchup-based, but I gotta tell you, it sure looks like he still doesn't have a clue what's going on. As Coach Madden famously once said, if you've got two quarterbacks, you've got none. And right now, I got to tell you, man, Coach O'Brien's indecisiveness with the most important position on the team is only going to lead to problems on the field.
The answer is simple. Just start me.
That would make the situation worse. I mean, the team plays better when I'm on the field. Everybody knows that.
If I could just get into a rhythm, I'd be fine. Last thing I need is to be worrying about you breathing down my neck if I make one mistake.
Oh, you better believe it that I'll be there when you do.
Okay, I see what's going on here, guys.
I don't know what made you follow me here and try to win back your old position. I mean, you could have just kept the Heartbreak Kids going, or you could have went your own route on another team, but you decided to what, come here and punish me? Is that it?
What are you talking about? You're the one who showed up and stole what was mine in the first place, okay? I'm supposed to be Batman, you're Robin.
Oh, this whole thing again? Are you dumb? I didn't take anything from you. Your body took it from you. Look, Tommy, I'm sorry.
No. I'm just gonna leave.
I don't know what his problem is.
You gotta go talk to him, man. Go clear the air.
He's the one with the problem. Look, if he wants to talk, he can come find me.
Jumping fiddlesticks.
Man, these two ain't gonna never stop beefing, guys. At least they get over themselves. Ain't that serious?
AT&T Stadium on this beautiful Saturday in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. The top travel destination this week for alumni of these two storied football powerhouses. And the site of the first of our college football playoff semifinal matchups. It's the Texas Longhorns taking on the Miami Hurricanes. For the right to play for a national championship next Monday night in Santa Clara, we are underway from Arlington in the national playoff semifinal. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
The Longhorns take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
I don't know if y'all ever seen that real life, but a lot of times running backs put their hands on the back or the shoulder of the block.
Longhorns come up first and 10.
Get him. You go and do nothing.
They start the drive with Martin. Oh, he sheds himself free. And now nothing but green ahead of him.
Yes, sir.
Touchdown. They said they wanted to have some explosive runs. How about that one to start the game?
And I would say on the defensive sideline, there's a lot to answer for. Because you spend all week saying, stop the run. I don't care who you're playing. You don't want to get run over. You don't want to get run past. And they got both. Over-committing in the second. And he just went stepping past them and is still running, essentially.
One play, and he hits pay dirt. So now after the touchdown, the Longhorns get ready to kick it off. This will make it into the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
Getting this nickel real good. Hey.
To the drive, picking up 12 yards there and a very quick first down. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it, but a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Daniel. And it's incomplete.
Intended for number 50.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
2nd and 10. To throw again. Daniel over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Daniel's pass. Intended for number 8.
He's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Daniel now. He lost the football. It is indeed what they do, says the referee. We're going the other way. Defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free.
And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy going back there, though? So much going on, so much swirling around. He's trying to find someone downfield. He's trying to move around and find an open target.
Everybody gets somebody.
Sometimes you forget the number one thing, take care of the football.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. The keeper there turning into a big play of 23 yards, and it moves the sticks. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. That is caught for a Longhorns touchdown. Buster Holiday there to make the grab. And the Longhorns add on to that lead. Not even 2 minutes into this football game, already we've had 2 scores.
You know how much I like to read about teams of old, right? The teams of yesteryear. There were some teams that were known as the point-a-minute teams. Well, obviously in a 60-minute game, that's 60-plus points. But 2 touchdowns in the first 2 minutes? My calculator doesn't operate that well.
And now on the other side, they better wake up. They haven't even gotten off the bus yet. This will make it into the end zone, and it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
Their own 25-yard line.
Here's the University of Miami, their offense ready to get the drive started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
This is caught by Jackson. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Or a solid jump there, 15 yards.
1st and 10.
Really? Really? Did we just see that? That's a big catch. One-handed, I might add, to pick up a 1st down.
I was going to say on 3rd down for the defense, that's one thing to give up a reception. You just got to shake your head on a one-handed catch to pick up the 1st. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
That's good for another.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed 1st down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help him dig out of this hole.
Number 15.
Solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Working with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
Now it's Daniel. Rolling to his right. And this will be scooped up by the defense. A disappointing end of the sequence there. He was starting to turn nothing into something, and then he lost the football.
And sometimes things get lost in the transition. And what I mean by that is you go from being a passer to a runner. And at a certain point, once you cross the line of scrimmage, you're strictly a runner now.
So he caught at the 30.
This is too easy.
Touchdown, Longhorns. Well, we discussed how important it was going to be for this quarterback to get off to a hot start. Well, he has done that. 2 first-quarter touchdown passes. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0.
Makes the score. Longhorns 21. Hurricanes nothing.
So now after the touchdown, the Longhorns get ready to kick it off. And this will make it into the end zone. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Back out there for their next offensive drive. The Hurricanes get set. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here. An inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On second down now. It's Woods. And he lost the football. And the defense will get their hands on it. Going the other way. And now 3 drives, 3 fumbles.
What's amazing about it is when we go around and watch practices, how many times do we see them put that sleeve over a football now to make it more slippery and hard to handle? It's almost like they're playing with that sleeve on the ball right now. Was that 3 drives?
Yep.
3 fumbles?
3 fumbles.
It's time to change our luck some way, somehow. Focus, concentration, you'll hear those words on the bench in a big way right now.
Back to the ground. This time it's Martin. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Longhorns add on to that lead. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. You better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing, and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it, it's scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all
second level with a linebacker. That's what I'm saying. That safety is blitzing.
So now after the touchdown, the Longhorns get ready to kick it off.
Throw the ball.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
It means that slot receiver will probably be like a linebacker or somebody covering him.
Here's the University of Miami, their offense ready to get the drive started. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown.
And the field hasn't changed.
Here he lost the football. Dangerous spot for them to cough it up. Lucky to have recovered because had the defense gotten it, they were already within a shadow of the goalpost.
Yeah, and then you're yelling at your own defense. Sudden change, sudden change. That's not what you want to hear on your sideline. That means you got to run out there and try and stop an offense who has the ball in a very advantageous position.
On 2nd and 15 now. Daniel. Trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. And this results in 6. Touchdown. That pick six, extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
An extra point splits the uprights, and the rout is on here in this first half.
I'll show you guys in the next time on offense what I was talking about with the slide receivers. Our receivers have always been cheat codes.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
Back out there for their next offensive drive. The Hurricanes get set. And they gave up the pick six. And now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go around? And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking, this is going to go the other way. The defense has it.
Complete.
Depth shot.
On the play. Recovered by the defense.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
I didn't see what this. I didn't do a speed check. Okay, 13. I'm gonna give you a shot.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Grab my shoulders, though.
So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1 yard line.
1 yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really.
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown.
You see
Great play there. Doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter as his guys continue to pour it on.
Okay, we need to double check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats. But what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice open lead.
After the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click. And I just said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
good luck.
He's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
So now after the touchdown, the Longhorns get ready to kick it off. This will make it into the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
25-yard line.
Here's the University of Miami, their offense ready to get the drive started. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're trying to get back out there.
Because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Throwing on 3rd down, Daniel.
I saw that.
Incomplete. Passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Now it's Martin. Great blocking on the return and springs him for 25. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Longhorns come up here to begin their next drive. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror. I You're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. He's going to loft one deep left side here, and it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards there and a first down.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
Now on first down, he'll drop the throw. That's going to be caught. They're able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A very solid gain of 27.
That's good.
Here are the Longhorns now on first and goal.
First down.
They'll try to run this one in, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point forthcoming. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we scored touchdowns running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone? We saw evidence of that on that play.
So not much time to speak of this first half as the kick's away. This will make it into the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
Back out there for their next offensive drive. The Hurricanes get set. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now.
I would say so. They need to help.
Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. From the gun, here's Daniel. He'll find Henderson there. It's complete. 8 yards in the completion, but now they face third down.
Brings up third down.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Shotgun snap for Daniel. And that will be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's fourth down.
It's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, you got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
Martin will return.
Let me see though. Put on the Jets, baby.
I think he's going to go.
Put it in the air, baby. Put it in the air, baby.
He will score. Touchdown, Longhorns.
It certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. And the route is on here in this first half.
Longhorns 56. Hurricanes nothing.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And this will make it into the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
It's the skip button.
Here's the University of Miami, their offense ready to get the drive started. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their players. playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3-and-out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Throw in the middle, taken in. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Well-executed 22-yard gain.
First and 10.
The Hurricanes now first and 10.
Fuck out of there. You don't know what's going on. Try to send that nigga. We're good.
Operating from the gun. Daniel. That's taken in by Henderson.
When you do the next
7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that.
Nowhere to go here. He wants the football. This is picked up by the defense.
Let's go, Fat
Get the
Daddy.
oxygen tank ready. The 20. And he's going to bring the football back for a touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. And it's up and good.
The score. Longhorns 63. Hurricanes nothing.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This will make it into the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
Back out there for their next offensive drive. The Hurricanes get set. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game. But I think the ball's out. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well. Not much there, only a yard. This hasn't been their cleanest first half of football. Last thing they wanted to do was give it up to the opposition, but able to keep it as it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, tough first half, no doubt about it. But if they turn it over there, now things turn a little, how would you say, dire. And they didn't need that hassle at all. So being able to take care of the football is paramount. Fortunate bounce for them there in order to retain it.
41-yard line.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loose in the
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. It's caught by Jackson. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number one. Now Daniel on first down. Dancing to it. And caught down. This is going the other way. And that play just looked a little helter-skelter from the start. That's the risk as a quarterback. Once you take off with that football, you might fumble it, and he did.
And he was going for the reward, which is gaining yardage, breaking down the defense. But you're right about the risk. Always lurking out there, someone always trying to get to the football. Try to find a place to cover up and slide and protect what you've earned.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to air it out deep for... man, it's caught.
That's a good ball for him.
He will score. Touchdown.
I know it looked easy. The reason it looked so easy is because you couldn't pass the ball
exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out of the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
You said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And this carries into the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
5-yard line.
Here's the University of Miami, their offense ready to get the drive started. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds in the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. So here's a 1st and 10 for Miami. From the gun, Daniel. Trying to improvise. The Longhorn fans, they're saying Tommy who? They've got the big lead as we reach halftime.
Hurricanes, nothing.
On, the loser goes home as we start the second half of this semifinal matchup. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards.
Got it, the 8 button, man. Push it right above. Come on, get out your way.
Back out there for their next offensive drive. The Hurricanes get set. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 2.
On 3rd down, it's Woods, and he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully, that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Oh, man, go.
Throwing again, Daniel. This complete to Langford. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 15 yards on the play, first down.
1st and 10.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Daniel. He'll hit Jackson, complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Daniel on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But thankfully, this is corralled by the offense, so they will, in fact, hold on to the football. We talk a lot about setting the tone to start the game. Well, you want to start the tone right in the 3rd quarter as well, and nearly lost a football there in their first drive.
And sometimes we overdo it when we talk about halftime adjustments and what teams are going to do. Most of the time, it's just a matter of executing the game plan you brought in. I'll guarantee you, they didn't draw that play up on the whiteboard at halftime. They're fortunate to retain possession.
Brings up 3rd and
so it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Operating from the gun, Daniel. Open man is Henderson. That's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 5 catches for him in that first half, and that's number 6 that we just saw, and also a first down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. From the gun, Daniel. That's caught by Jackson. And he's going to score. Touchdown, Hurricanes. Benny Jackson, 27 yards. And his guys are able to get a score back.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. No problem there on the extra point. So they do get 1 score back, but still a long way to go here in the 3rd quarter. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33.
1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
About set for their next drive. The Texas offense at the line. Still well in control of this ball game, despite giving up that touchdown a moment ago. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at the 45. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense, rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost getting into a ball sometimes. Stack things up and make it difficult.
He is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 23 yards the pickup there. Here's a 1st and 10, Texas. They'll give to Martin here, out of the gun. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That was a particularly nice play because not only was it his job to force the play inside, he was actually able to fold inside himself and make the tackle ultimately. Very nicely done.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. They run it again with Martin. Inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a first down on a gain of 10. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Man, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
2nd and 7.
And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. 7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. From the gun, a give to Martin. And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the first. Ball at a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. The Longhorns field goal unit, they're out there now.
For the Texas field goal. A 30-yard attempt.
That's how I think. Hold the 8 button. Kill some clock, baby. Kick that ball one time. And then they go right ahead.
His kick is right there. It's good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, then no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And it will come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
25-yard line.
Here's the University of Miami, their offense ready to get the drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go.
And a loose football. And the defense has come up with it.
Oh, he's not touch, bro. Jesus Christ.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. It's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They'll run on first down. Pierce, and now running right through it. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop.
He was taken.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. They run again on first down. Martin. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And this is the kind of day running back dreams of. They keep handing him the ball, and he keeps taking it in for touchdowns.
Trying to do it like a spin move.
Now the extra point.
But they extra. Rotate that right out left around.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
Longhorns 80, Hurricanes 7.
So now after the touchdown, the Longhorns get ready to kick it off. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
Back out there for their next offensive drive. The Hurricanes get set. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
He loses the football a second time. It's going the other way. And I don't know that fumble's going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
14 yards that time and a first down on the keeper. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. What a catch inside the 5. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Here are the Longhorns now on 1st and goal.
Got too many rules? We ain't got too many rules.
They'll run for it with Martin. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. And one of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you can darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back right now.
I should have made my dude Lamar Jackson a free train. Running shit over all season. Get back in team. Yeah, I'll change that.
On 2nd down, it's Pierce. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
But they're certainly not neglecting their run duties as well as they ate up the blockers in front and allowed the secondary to get home.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
7. W.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. That is caught. touchdown. Darren Walker, there to make the grab. And this offense is running away with this one. What a game that he has had throwing the football. Now 4 touchdown passes. This offense playing at a very high level. I'll tell you what, he's going to be filling up your social media timeline tonight. Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead.
Hurricane 7.
So now after the touchdown, the Longhorns get ready to kick it off. This will make it into the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
Their own 25-yard line.
Here's the University of Miami, their offense ready to get the drive started. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now, you're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last sequence.
We'll see what they do here in this last sequence. On 2nd and 10, Daniel. Incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
He's got it to die. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That 3rd down conversion good for 23. The Hurricanes now 1st and 10. So on the strength of 4 touchdown passes from their junior quarterback, the Texas Longhorns are moving on to play for a national title.
And as always, man, we gonna walk out of here with the top yak. Catch you guys in the next episode. Peace.